This is Seasons of Discontent with your hosts Rick Snyder and Matt Combs on the Hogstein Network.
Welcome to Seasons of Discontent, Season 6, Episode 3, brought to you by Rick Snyder's Washington on YouTube and other social media. I'm Rick Snyder.
I'm Matt.
And we're back discussing all things Washington sports and life as part of the mighty Hogstein Network on audio and here on YouTube on video. Well, big week, Matt. I'm sitting there at 7 a.m., 21 degrees outside, waiting for a press conference. And they finally came out and said, okay, we just told NBC, but it's Commanders, which everyone knew the night before because TV station got their helicopter. I give them credit for that. My helicopter was in the shop getting the oil changed. So I blew my chance, but I give them credit for, I didn't even know anybody had a helicopter anymore.
Yeah, it's more, man.
They used to have helicopters for the, rush hour traffic views, but now with the cameras, you don't need them anymore.
Right.
So I didn't know anybody had one, but good for them, and Dan Snyder came out and said, well, worst kept secret in DC. Hey, dude, you got it to the very end. I mean, we all thought it was Commanders, and I for at least a month, but no one improving in my business, two different things.
Yeah, because you remember when they did the Making the Brand, this logo was sitting on Jason Wright's lap. But, it said the People's Team or whatever it said underneath of it. So everybody kind of just put that aside and said, no, there's no chance that's the real logo. And then, you had Boomer on his radio show talking about how it's Admirals, and he had some conviction in his voice. He thought it was Admirals or somebody had told him it was Admirals. And then, of course, Joey T came out and kind of spilled the beans a little bit, too, that it was Commanders. But, it was the worst kept secret in all of sports. We kind of figured for the past month it had been Commanders. Couple things. I know a lot of people are angry about the way that the name was revealed on TV. You basically had John Allen, Doug Williams, and Jason Wright on a director's chair in the middle of the field with the guy from NBC. There was no fireworks, there was no flyover, there was no big extravagant thing. And Rick, you kind of think about it. It's been 2 years of build up to this. Why didn't they make more of a spectacle? It felt like there was more of a spectacle outside the stadium with Dan and Tanya and Jason and all the old players. I mean, they even had Jordan Reed back. Like, they had all the old guys coming back wearing the varsity jackets, and they had the jerseys on mannequins, and they had the big W logo. I mean, it felt like more of an extravaganza off of NBC. I still think it goes back to the Today Show stuff. That was the NFL. The NFL booked that. I guarantee you Jason didn't want to do that. That's why it was kind of a mediocre. Hey, why don't you go ahead and tell them, Doug? We are the Commanders. That's all it was.
Well, I laugh because people are like, people expected a Broadway show. It's a press conference most of the time.
I agree. But like I said, with 2 years of buildup, you would think it would be a little bit more extravagant.
Well, I'm sitting outside in 21-degree weather for a couple hours, freezing to death. And they just come out and say, yeah, it's Commanders. Here's the video. Hey, Doug, you want to say something? Joe, come up here and say something from that. Dan Snyder talked for 40 seconds. And they said, okay, let's take some pictures by the jerseys. Thank you. Goodbye. But that's it. Most press conferences are kind of like that. I think the one that I got to see was an afterthought because I and many others in the media talked to the team and said, why are you taking away this big announcement from us? Why are you doing this in New York? New York doesn't buy your tickets. You're slamming the media and the fans doing this. So I think they said, okay, we'll do this. What was funny is later on, when you sat down the chairs, they were all white. I thought it was just a bunch of dirt. And they were cold. And John Kimes tells me, he goes, no, that was frost. That's how cold it was.
Jason Wright looked really cold on TV. His nose was definitely red. That's another reason too that I think it didn't last very long with Craig Melvin was it was too dang on cold, man. You know, you're doing this in February 2nd. You're doing it on Groundhog Day. Literally, what, an hour before your announcement, the groundhog comes out and says 6 more weeks of winter. It's 20-some degrees out. I mean, I heard you on the Junkies that morning at like 6:30 in the morning in your driveway getting ready to drive to FedEx. I mean, it was cold that morning. And, you know, It's funny, too, because yesterday it was in the 60s. And then, of course, we're recording on Friday. The fan tailgate party is tonight. It's probably going to rain all damn night. So, you know, it's just more missteps, I think, with the organization as a whole. But let's get into the jersey. I want your thoughts, because you and I were, you know, 20 some years apart. What are your thoughts? First of all, I guess my first question for you is, of the 3 behind me, what is the logo?
All right, so they call it the crest. The W is the logo. The Commanders thing is the crest.
Okay.
So just so you know, the W. One thing I'll say, I think it's a decent W in that I don't think W is a good letter.
No.
Like the nat, real blockish, and it never does anything for me. This W is okay. It's for hats. It's okay. The crest, it's a little busy, but they tried to do some history stuff. The 3 stars relates to the DC flag, which is about Maryland, DC, and Virginia land all in one. And the shield kind of comes off of George Washington's crest. But my first impression was you have the wrong years.
Yeah, 83, 88, and 92 are wrong.
Right. I mean, so Jason Wright said to us, the league said these are the dates we should use. Well, technically they won in January of each year, but they're not the seasons. The 37 to 42, well, back then the championship game was in December,
right.
So no problem. But now you see why they have Super Bowls have Roman numerals, because you have to, so you jive up the numbers right. And so it looks stupid. Every fan today knows it's wrong. 20 years from now, the new fans will just think they'll just think that's what it is. So a wrong number will carry on over the years. They should either just put the Super Bowl numbers there or make them the real seasons. I like to say, well, what the years they wanted, it was the seasons that they played.
Well, because all you got to do is go to Wikipedia. Wikipedia has the 3 Super Bowl championships as 82, 87, and 91, because that's the seasons. Yes, the season ended in 83, 88, and 92 when they won when they won the championship, but it was the 82, 87, and 91 seasons. Any fan of the team knows that. And I'll be honest with you, another thing with the crest, the 3 stars they need to rearrange, because it really looks like the Tennessee Titans. You know, the Tennessee Titans have the ball with the three stars in the sword for the Titans. I think they need to work on that, but I like the crest. I like the placement of the crests on the jerseys. I think with the burgundy jersey, it's on the back of the neck along with the white, and then on the black jersey, it's on one of the sleeves. Do you I guess get into the jerseys with me. Do you prefer them? Do you like them? Do you hate them? Which one? What?
The burgundy is a little different shade, and I like it. I have no problems with the burgundy. I kind of like that a little better than the current. The burgundy got screwed up by Vince Lombardi in 1969 because he got rid of the old jerseys because his brother was a manufacturer's rep for another apparel company. So he gave his brother-in-law, I should say, gave him the business. But the jersey showed up the night before the first game, and the color's a little off, and they had to play with him. So it's always been a little weird. So I like the burgundy. The white looks too plain to me, and the black just doesn't look like Washington. Now, they may match the pants and color, the jersey colors and all that, so it won't just be a full color thing. And that might help a little on there. The black, I know people like to buy black, as we talked about, but I don't know. It's an alternate jersey, which means they won't use it much. But I like the burgundy font.
Yeah, the burgundy jerseys are definitely my favorite. I think the Commanders on the front is a little too big, as you know, just kind of comparing it to where they had Redskins in the past, and the past 2 years they had Washington in the past. I feel like the Commanders is a little too big on the front, but I do like I like the jersey of the red. The white one, you need to throw some gold in there. I think, you know, that jersey to me says were the Cardinals. It doesn't look anything like a Washington Redskins football team Commanders jersey. I think it's interesting that all three jerseys are unique, and they don't have a set number pattern on all three jerseys. They're different. All the jerseys are different in comparison to one another, because generally when you look at a team's jersey, their home and away jerseys, they're the same jersey. They're just kind of, the colors are flip-flopped. And actually the team put something out, and I'm going to go over this with you real quick on the different uniqueness. The burgundy jersey tells the story of our history and legacy as one of the NFL's first franchises. So the burgundy jersey is the classic. It's the link to the past, to the Redskins era. The white jersey, it says it tells the story of forward movement and speed. The gradient effect on the numbers is the first of its kind in the league. That's from Nike. The forward moving theme of this jersey is tribute to a city born of innovation, paying tribute to the pioneering ideas of individuals such as Charles L'Enfant and Benjamin Banneker that helped build DC. Now, if you notice, it has a diamond fade pattern. Apparently, the diamond is very prominent because of the shape of the District of Columbia. Now, the black jersey is what links them to the military, supposedly, with the Commanders being on the chest or on the heart area instead of in the middle of the jersey. And then it has obviously the flag, the DC flag on one side and the crest on the other. It kind of mimics a military uniform. And it also does kind of have that triangle camo pattern. I would say that the only, and Jason said this is going to be a fluid situation. I would definitely tweak the white jerseys before the start of the season. They need to fix the crest. And I'm not sure about the W in the middle of the black helmet. I know the black helmet has the numbers on the side as opposed to the W, which the burgundy helmets have. I would definitely not put that W in the front.
Well, they put it in the front so they'll know who hit you. The W hit you.
Yeah, the W hits you.
The tour guide in me wants to say white stands for purity when we talk about flags.
Yeah.
Unstandard color BS. Whatever.
Let me ask you this too. Why the pants? Look at all three jerseys. The pants are just solid colors. Like, there's no lines, there's no swooshes, there's nothing. There's no color. It's just burgundy, white, and black pants. I think that changes as well.
Well, at least that stupid mustard color will be gone. And
yeah, and no more yellow pants, Bruce. Sorry, buddy.
I mean, they got to have a solid background. So when you put the patch on for like MGM or somebody that they sell space to, it'll stand out better, I think. I don't know. All right, we only got a minute to go. Did just want to say that bad look for the team the next day. You got those ex-cheerleaders up there and staffers talking about horrible stuff, sexual allegations going on against this team. I think Dan Snyder might be in trouble again because a lot came out. They can't hide it anymore. And there's some serious charges in there directly at him by one women. So I think the NFL has tried to bury itself. Now it's got Brian Flores claiming, racism. Now we've got this women's issue, and the women buy a lot of NFL gear, more than half. So it's I think we're going to be seeing a lot about all this again.
Yep.
All right. Well, we got to run out of here. These days go fake. But we'll be back in a few days with another story. Talk more about uniforms and all that other crap. I'm Rick Snyder.
I'm Matt.
See ya.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to Seasons of Discontent on the Hogstye Network.